I've got this. Jenka shoved away from the table faster than Liesel could. Get out, Sandy. This is a private business establishment, and you are not welcome. Where is my sister? I want to know where she is right now. She's busy. Fucking my husband? Sandy hissed back. Liesel pulled her lips back with fury, her teeth gritted at the hypocrisy of the woman. She entered the gallery and let her gaze rove over her sister. Her belly was rounded, and she was showing off the baby bump with the clothing she was wearing. Her shirt was almost a crop top, and the pants were low-rise. It was September in New Hampshire, not exactly sweater weather yet, but the summer-like attire the woman wore was odd. I am not fucking your husband. I have better things to do with my time. You were with him the other night. His shirt smelled of your perfume. I don't even wear perfume, Liesel laughed at her. The last time I wore perfume was in middle school when I got a bottle of Chanel Red. Oh my gosh, you thought you were so hot! Jenka laughed at the memory. She grinned at Jenka. I did too until I caused the girl in homeroom to have an asthma attack and almost die. Stop laughing! Sandy shrieked. Why are you doing this to me? Don't you want me to be happy? Not particularly, but I'm not doing anything to you either. I don't like you, Sandy. Liesel's phone rang in her back pocket, and she pulled it out and looked at Jenka. Is he watching me? Probably has security watching you. He's very protective. Merlin? Sandy growled. Merlin is watching you? She answered her phone, ignoring Sandy. Hey, handsome. What are you doing? Hi, my love. Isaiah's voice was smooth. You didn't message me back when I texted. Are you okay? I am. Are you sure? A little birdie told me you have a parasite. You know, to remove a tick? You need to make sure you rip its head off. His words were dark and menacing. Sandy's eyes widened at the blunt comments. I think you mean you need to pull it out by the head, she corrected with a giggle. I miss you. 2 more sleeps, sweetheart. Jenka and Elsie are going to spend the night with you tonight. If you get into the wine cellar, there is a bottle of champagne in a special case, leave that. It's a bottle my grandfather had given me, but the rest is open season. You're the best. At what? Fucking you? Spoiling you? Loving you? His words made her blush as Jenka flapped her hands excitedly. She giggled, all of the above. Good girl. Keep thinking of how amazing I am. If you have wet dreams tonight about me, you should paint them. I can add to it later with my own special spray. Ew! Sandy gasped with disgust. Liesel lost it and laughed loudly. You're terrible. You love it. I do. He sighed. I miss you. If you need help removing ticks and parasites, there is a black SUV across the street with 3 men in there to assist you with any of your security needs. She smiled at his words. Thank you, Isaiah. You are welcome. I'll see you soon, my love. He paused. Tell Jenka if you girls all do the shorty shorts and pillow fight during your sleepover tonight, I want video of you. I'm hanging up now. His dark throaty laugh teased her as she disconnected the phone. She looked to her sister and smirked. Why the fuck would I want to screw your husband when I have someone like Isaiah Machado taking care of every possible need? He's Merlin's enemy. He's only using you. Let him, Jenka said with a snarky grin. Let him use you 100 different ways to Sunday. Oh, she made wide eyes at Jenka knowing it was irritating Sandy. I do. Trent and Tori do not approve of this man, Sandy said, snapping her fingers in Liesel's direction. I don't give a flying fuck, Liesel responded crudely. They're your problem now. Where is Merlin? If Isaiah is out of town, are you hooking up with him? Sandy, she waved her phone around. I have a boyfriend who keeps me so sexually satiated I have no energy to go looking elsewhere. Merlin has nothing I want. He is not your boyfriend. Sandy, I'm not doing this dance with you. Merlin isn't here, Liesel gave an exhausted sigh. I don't know what you want from me. You have everything you could have wanted with Merlin and the baby. Why can't you simply leave me alone? You're my sister. You're supposed to support me and be here for me during my pregnancy. You had an affair with my husband, Liesel shot back. I can't support you when you literally plotted to break my heart. You wanted him and you got him. You don't get to have me pandering to you as well. We aren't sisters anymore, Sandy. She saw Sandy's head snap back in disbelief. The child in your belly is not my nephew. Your husband is not my brother-in-law. We are not family. I don't want anything to do with you. I especially don't want anything to do with Merlin. You have what you wanted with your happy little family. You're living your dreams. Let me live mine in peace. You wrecked my house. She tried to keep the argument alive. I sold my house, mine. Merlin can buy you a new home and the three of you can live happily ever after. Sandy's eyes welled up with tears and Liesel knew it was nothing but a show. Why are you so mean to me? I think you should leave and not ever come back. Stop messaging me. Stop calling me. I signed the divorce papers and gave you everything, including the man I thought I was going to grow old with. I have nothing left to give you, Sandy. Any affection I had for you is destroyed and it will never come back. I'm telling Mom you're talking to me this way. Go ahead. I don't care. Your feelings and emotions are no longer my concern. You're being mean. Sandy stomped her foot furiously. I want you to stop it. This baby, she rubbed her belly, is your nephew and you're going to love him. I want you there at the birth to hold my hand. You are to be his godmother. Janka gasped at the statement and Liesel's mouth fell open in stunned horror at her sister's demands. Like fucking hell, Liesel blinked. I'd rather die than be there to witness the birth of your spawn. Sandy charged at her and slapped her in the face. Stop being so mean to me. A burly man entered the gallery, the chimes of the bells on the door an odd notification when the entire room's energy was sucked in with his presence. He moved between Liesel and Sandy looking down at Liesel and checked her face studying the palm mark. Isaias is going to be pissed. He turned to Sandy who was now pale. You should leave before I make you leave. This is a family matter. Sandy was shaking from the angry vibration of the man. Yes, I agree. She is my cousin's girlfriend, which makes her my family. You assaulted her, and it's all on camera. He pointed to the camera focused on the gallery over the counter where Janka stood. It is in your best interests to leave before we call the police and file charges for assault. He looked to Liesel, unless you want to do it now? I'm happy to call my friend at the precinct. No, Liesel rubbed her jaw. I'm fine. She's leaving and she's never coming back. He stepped closer to Sandy. Get out. She pouted with big tears running down her cheeks. Liesel, you will be there for the birth. I will not, Liesel said, firmly fighting her own emotions. Leave. Now. As her sister stormed out of the gallery, the man looked to Liesel with a sad shake of his head. I apologize. I delayed coming in. Isaias said I shouldn't interfere unless you were in danger. I didn't realize she was going to hit you until she did. I'm fine, really. She gave a sad smile. She's mentally unhinged. I won't be letting her back inside. You can finish your day. Thank you, she smiled at him as he patted her shoulder before walking out. She looked to Janka and giggled as she caught her friend staring very boldly at the man's backside. Janka! Invite him to the slumber party. Her friend wiggled her eyebrows, breaking the tension of the moment and sending them into gales of laughter. Despite the fact it was 2 a.m, Liesel was wide awake. She, Janka and Elsie had drunk 2 bottles of red wine and had devoured 2 pizzas between them. She should be exhausted, drunk or in a food coma, but as she rolled onto her pillow, pulling Isaias' pillow to her face, and inhaling deeply, she was missing him too much to rest. She knew it was 7 a.m. where he was. He was probably up, ready for the day, and likely already hard at work. One of the things she had noticed about him was he worked far more than Merlin ever had yet. When he was spending time with her, his focus was on her. He would put aside his work to talk to her where Merlin often told her to wait until he was done whatever it was he was doing. She sighed at the thought. She well and truly needed to stop comparing the two men and the two vastly different relationships. Moving on meant she needed to forget everything Merlin and focus on everything Isaias. He had called her late in the afternoon to make sure she was okay after her fight with Sandy, and he'd been furious to know her sister wanted her to be a godmother to the child. She had let him know she was now completely done with the antics of both and had spoken with Elsie tonight to discuss getting no-contact orders against both of them, especially given Merlin's entrance into her home and Sandy's assault. He had been pleased with her decision. He had offered her the full use of his legal team if she needed it. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand, and she rolled over and lifted it and smiled at the message. A simple good morning from Isaias confirmed her suspicions he was already hard at it. She responded with a good morning of her own and sighed happily. Her phone rang and she giggled as she answered it. Hello! Hello. Are you up late? Did the girls stay with you? I am up late. We watched movies and ate pizza. We tucked Elsie in and then I came to bed. Did she drink too much? Yes. She snickered. She outdrank us 2 glasses to 1. Oh dear. Are you in bed now? I am. Hugging your pillow, she admitted with a tiny smile pulling her lips. I wish I was there for you to hug instead. I miss you, beautiful. I miss you too. What did you wear to bed? She looked down at herself chuckling. Do you really want to know? Yes. You know the dress shirt you wore Tuesday and hung on the back of the closet door? He gave a laugh at her admission. You're sleeping in my shirt? Yes. I hope you don't mind. Not in the slightest. I'm happy to hear this actually. I should have stolen a pair of your panties to bring with me. Imagine customs going through your bag and finding my lacy thongs. He laughed loudly now at her words. I would say they were mine. You know it would get leaked by customs to a tabloid. And you know I wouldn't care less. She lay there listening to his quiet breathing, staring at the ceiling, his pillow clutched in her fist as she kept the phone close to her ear. Liesel, are you still awake? I am. What are you thinking about? I had a conversation with Janka and Elsie this evening. Actually, it was a continuation of the conversation I had with Janka this morning before Sandy busted into my workplace. She inhaled deeply, forcing herself to be brave. I talked to them about how I was feeling. About what? About whom? She corrected. And it was about how I'm feeling about you and me, us. I see. He was quiet. You're having second thoughts? She paused as she blinked. Isaias, I'm falling hard. It took me months and months, probably a year, to even consider the L word with Merlin, and I'm not saying it right now, because I'm scared, you'll freak out, but I'm feeling far more for you than I was anticipating. His silence goaded her to continue. I wasn't looking for this. I wasn't looking for a relationship or to fall so quick and so hard for a guy 2 months after my marriage ended, but here I am laying in your bed, in your shirt, sniffing your pillow and missing you so much it aches inside. I don't know what to do with this feeling, and I sure as hell know it's going to break me far more than Merlin and Sandy did if we ever break up, but I don't want to walk away from it. He still said nothing, and her heart clenched painfully. I'm not asking for you to feel the same way or to even respond, Isaias, but the girls reminded me tonight, I might have become a step-forward wife over the last several years, but the one thing I never did become was a coward. I'm not a chicken, and I'm not afraid. I've always faced my life head-on. Being scared of the heartache of eventually, possibly, losing you isn't going to stop me from love. She caught herself, feeling the way I feel for you as much as I do. I know it's a lot and it's too much, but what I'm feeling, in my heart tells me it's right. At least for me, it's right, and I wanted you to know this. There was an awkward silence hanging between them as she finished her speech. She knew he was still there because she could hear his breathing in her ear. She felt a tear edge the corner of her eye as she curled onto her side, clutching his pillow to her chest and blinking her emotions away. Are you still there? She asked quietly. I am. Too much? No. They were both quiet for at least a full minute before embarrassment forced her to speak. Anyway, I should probably get to sleep. I'll see you Saturday? He cleared his throat. Yes, of course. Sweet dreams, Liesel. I'll see you on Saturday. She watched as the call ended, and she sadly slid her phone back to the nightstand and pulled her lips between her teeth and bit down. It hurt he didn't tell her he cared for her, but she had told him he didn't need to. It didn't change how she felt. She was in love with him, and it was only going to intensify as time went on. Better he knows now than not at all. If he came back on Saturday and ended things because she'd made declarations too soon, then it was what it was. She pondered this reality and questioned then, why did it hurt so much when he'd remained so silent? The question kept her awake all night. Liesel was painting in the sunroom of Isaiah's home on Saturday morning when the ringing of the front door caught her ear. She dropped her brush onto her easel and grabbed a cloth and tried wiping her hands as she made her way to the door. She noted through the window the security agent who had been at the gallery the day Sandy had smacked her standing outside, and he was holding multiple packages. She opened the door, and he stepped inside. Good morning. Good morning. Isaiah sent over some things for the gala this evening via his personal assistant. She asked me to run them up to you as she still had to arrange other things for him for the gala. He is giving a presentation tonight for his realtor, and he likes things done to perfection. I believe he has her running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Liesel nodded with a benign smile. She hadn't heard from Isaiah at all since their call in the early morning of Friday. I was also asked to pass along a message. Sure. It hurt he was sending messages through other people instead of reaching out directly. Isaiah will be running late as they had issues with the aircraft, and it will only be ready to leave later today. He is dealing with some issues of a takeover he is working on and hasn't had time for a call as he's been in meetings, but he wanted me to reassure you he will be at the gala and asked I personally escort you to the event. He will meet us there. He is likely to only arrive in Manchester as it's starting, and he won't have time to come here from the airport first to collect you. She made a face. I don't need to go. I'm sure escorting me to a gala is not part of your normal security detail. He doesn't need to come to pick me up. He can go on his own. His PA said you would probably protest and say exactly this, but I assure you, I would be honored to make sure you arrive safely to the venue. You are family now, Liesel. My cousin is quite enamored with you. If he asks me to get you there, I will get you there. She swallowed the lump in her throat at his words. I don't want to put anyone out. You will not be putting anyone out. I will escort you to the venue and I will wait with you until he arrives. Enya, my aunt, and uncle will also be arriving with him. I haven't seen Enya in a bit, so I'm looking forward to it. Have you met her? Only on the phone and video conferencing. She gave us hell for making out in the club and then for Isaiah carrying me out of the gallery on his shoulder with my ass damn near exposed. He threw his head back and laughed, and it reminded her so much of Isaiah's full-bodied laugh she felt an odd homesick feeling in her stomach. Why was she missing him so much? It wasn't fair. You will like her. She is the human equivalent of a tornado. She walks into a room and stirs up shit, usually to make the people around Isaiah focus on anything other than Isaiah. She is good at her job of being head of PR for him. She's been in London for the last 4 months because the man she was dating took a job there. She broke things off with him this past week. She will be looking to drown her sorrows tonight in champagne, and whatever rich person will distract her with sex in a coat closet. She dropped her jaw open at his words. That's not nice. He chuckled. Tell it to her. Once she was caught with one of the female catering staff in a food pantry. She's bisexual and beautiful. She has Isaiah's charisma and her mother's good looks and her cousin Joachim's penchant for trouble. Apollonia is a beautiful woman. She is my aunt. My mother and she are sisters. My mother is still in Portugal. It's not your mom having surgery. No. It is our mother's aunt having surgery. My grandmother has 4 sisters. There were 5 girls and 2 boys. I was asked to go over, but instead I volunteered to stay behind and watch over you. Why? You didn't want to be with your family? My wife and I got divorced 6 months ago after I caught her in bed with her personal trainer. I did not want to listen to another lecture from all of my aunties and my mother on how they all told me so. I'm sorry to hear you went through this. Hey, she cheated on me, but at least it wasn't with my sibling. He teased her with a bit of sadness in his eyes. Ouch! She mocked being hurt and smacked his bicep playfully. He laughed at her words. Now, I will be back to collect you at 7:30 on the nose. The gala starts at 8. Isaias said he should be there no later than 8:15. He wants you to wait for him in the lobby. Do not go in without him. He told his PA he wants to talk to you before you go in. Fine. She gave a bitter sigh, wondering if the talk was going to be about him not feeling the same as her and wanting to take steps back. She motioned to the bags and boxes on the floor. What is all this? I have no idea. Sharon asked me to drop it to you. My guess is it's everything you could possibly need for a gala. She noted the long box from a designer dress shop and nodded. He did say he wanted to pick out my dress. Well, I'll be off. I have several of my guys outside watching the house. You carry on with your day and I'll see you later. Wait. What? I don't know your name. He laughed and extended his hand. Mallory. Nice to meet you. She shook his hand firmly. I'll see you later. As she closed the door behind him, she nudged the box, which she knew contained a dress, with her toe and gave an exasperated sigh. If this was the night she was getting dumped, at least she was going to be getting dumped in designer. It didn't assuage her pain at all.